Welcome everybody to another episode of Positively Trek. I'm Dan Gunther, and it is the end of the month / the very beginning of the month. Regardless, it is the time that we generally talk about the comics that have come out over the past month. And in this episode, we are talking about the comics that came out in October. And because it's a comics episode, of course, joining me is the wonderful, the extremely comic literate and bespocked in her bespocked office, Brandi Jackala. Brandi, welcome back to Positively Trek.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking with you, Dan, in any circumstance, but especially with comics, I'm very grateful that I get to do this with you.
Me too. I always enjoy this. I love that even though, you know, that ongoing Defiant and Star Trek series are done, we found a way to keep talking about the comics, even though there's so many of them coming out per month.
So many.
Yeah, and like this isn't next month. There's even 5 comics coming out.
There's 5.
It's crazy. But this month we've got 4 comics. That's enough. Like we've got lots to talk about today. So
yes, we do.
Indeed. Well, today, dear listener, if you haven't read these comics already, you should go and read them. The 4 comics that came out this month are Star Trek Red Shirts number 3, Star Trek Lower Decks number 12, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation number 2, and Star Trek Voyager Homecoming number 2. So if you haven't read those, go and read them, and if you still haven't read them and don't care about spoilers, listen on, I guess.
There are those of us out there who are like that. So.
It's true. It's true. Y'all are weird and you make poor life choices. Just saying.
Or maybe they can't afford to buy comics, and this is how they find out what's going on.
Oh, well, now I feel terrible.
I'm sorry, it's a reflection of my current financial situation with my husband being a federal employee.
Oh, I hate everything about all of that. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
It's so awful.
Yeah.
It's really just the worst.
I mean, the whole situation, I guess I should say, the whole situation in the States is why I bought this shirt a couple months ago, so.
Yep.
A little bit of uncharacteristic nationalism from me here, which is not my usual, but anyway. Well, let's jump right in with the first issue, Star Trek Red Shirts number 3. This came out on October 1st, just in time for my birthday. It was a nice little birthday gift. Written by Christopher Cantwell with art by Megan Levins. So the publisher's synopsis for this issue is, it's a race to the top as the anti-Federation spies and the Red Shirts summit the towering antenna on Arconia 89. The spies seek to escape a transporter disruptor and make it back to their ship with their stolen data, and Rod, Grosh, Vesta, and Miller will try to stop them by any means necessary. The climb is made all the more difficult by fire raining from above via a cloaked warbird captained by a young Romulan and a mysterious Tal Shiar officer. Meanwhile, on the ground, Lanier, Amiga, and Dematrio realize a hidden secret about the deceased Cromarties base. It might just be their ticket out of this mess alive, but as more lives are senselessly lost, the Red Shirts start to wonder if Starfleet would even care if they made it back at all. A little bit of editorializing by me. No, they would not care.
No, they would not. That is a hell of a spoilery synopsis. For
it really is.
Sake. Good Lord.
Yeah, I was kind of... So last month when I did these, I kind of wrote my own synopsis of each issue, went through and picked out the main plot points. And this time, it was actually reading this one. I was like, that's actually pretty good. Like the you know, sometimes the comic synopses are really out there and not really indicative of what's happening in the issue. This one just kind of lays it all out. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, here's what you're about to read. Enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's jump into our thoughts on this issue because like the first 2 issues, I am just enjoying the heck out of this series. The artwork is amazing and the story is beautifully gory and wonderful. I'm loving the characters. And again, like we said last time, don't get too attached to them. And it's kind of turned into like, okay, how's this one going to die?
Yep.
Which is dark, but fun.
Yeah, it is. It is. I want to say I'm ashamed of that comment, but I'm not.
Embrace your dark side, Brandi. Just jump in.
Honey,
enjoy it.
Honestly, I lighten myself up for everybody else. The dark side is where I live. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, place your bets, and you're spinning the roulette wheel, seeing whose number comes up, and I always feel bad for everyone who dies, and at the same time, I'm like, oh, it's not our main character though, because he's got to be our avatar through this whole thing, unless they pull the rug out from under us and kill him off. Which they could do, but it doesn't feel like they're going to do that because he is us. He's the person through which we see all of this. So, yeah, but I liked I liked his, what's the word I'm looking for? Observation that the no-win situation is the assignment.
Yeah, because he makes the point that the security officers, people going that route at the academy, don't take the Kobayashi Maru. That's for the captains and stuff. The security officers, like you said, they just live it. Like that's their every time. The command officers, it's in case they're in that situation, what would they do? Security officers, it's just a given.
It's just a given that most of them are probably not going to come back.
So, and yeah, most of them aren't, as we see by the, I like the little kind of tally board it starts with. And yeah, the way I thought they were going to do it is exactly how they do it. They have a big X through each one who has passed away so far. And then you can kind of, update it as it goes through this issue. So I want to talk about Petty Officer Grash, the Bolian officer who, if you read her little bio, it's chose security because of the high fatality rate and hopes to die a hero. So I have to say she's kind of the one red shirt that has gotten what she wants in this, because she dies like a particularly horrific death. I think she gets impaled on that big chunk of metal, and then manages just to reach the grenade that has been dropped and sets it off to cause the tower to come crashing down to keep the Romulans from getting out of the transport inhibitor range. It's complicated, but yeah, a lot of moving parts. And she really does die a hero. But, it's graphic.
It is very graphic. And the thing that was foremost in my mind is, yeah, she died a hero, but is anyone going to know that? Mm-hmm. She knew it. I guess that's enough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, are people going to, pay their respects in the way they ought to for her sacrifice? I don't know that they will.
Yeah. And I guess, like, it all depends on the definition of hero as well, too. Because, like, what is this mission for? Like, they don't even really know. And it's very uncelebrated, right? Like, it's not, to herself and to her fellow crew members who she saved, she's a hero. But outside of that, I don't think anyone's going to know. And does that matter or not? I don't know,
Most people would argue, well, she knew. Mm-hmm. She knew what she was sacrificing and she did it willingly. So, that makes her, that's objectively, what a hero does.
Yeah. Not even the most gruesome death in this issue.
Oh, though. No, it sure isn't. Oh.
So, how many times in Star Trek have we seen somebody's beaming away and somebody grabs them so that they get beamed along with them? Now, what I always kind of imagined would happen is what happens here, because like Gillian Taylor grabbed Kirk in Star Trek 4. She's fine. Michael Burnham grabbed Philippa Georgiou as she was beaming out and she ended up fine. This red shirt who beams aboard the Romulan ship by grabbing one of the Romulan spies as he's beaming out. Oh my God. Like I can't even put into words what we see on the transporter pad. You know the line in Star Trek The Motion Picture when that horrific transporter malfunction scene and all you hear is from the ground station, what we got back didn't live long, fortunately. Mm-hmm. This is what I picture now. Whoa.
Yep. Because you can't just jump into the transporter beam of a ship that you know nothing about. I mean, if it had been another Federation ship, it might have been okay. But that's not what happened here. Mm-hmm. And there's an eye in one of the arms. I think it's an arm.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think there's also a mouth in the other arm.
I know.
And I want to say, okay, this is graphic, folks. I apologize if, don't lose your lunch listening to this podcast, but possibly ribs, a rib cage coming out of his head.
Yep. Or his head coming out of a rib cage. I'm not really sure which one it was.
Megan Levins. Boy, I do not want to peek inside your mind.
She's very good.
She's very good at what she does.
Very, very good.
She's the best there is at what she does, and what she does isn't pretty.
It isn't pretty, but man, it sure evokes some feelings.
It does indeed. Well, those were the two big prominent red shirt deaths, I'd say, in this issue. Let's talk a little bit about the Romulans, because we get a revelation on who this Tal Shiar officer is who's overseeing things. And it's Chairman Neural, who, if you watch TNG and Deep Space Nine, you'd know in TNG Unification, he's proconsul of the Romulan Empire. And then in Deep Space Nine, they say he's now praetor of the Romulan Empire. So this guy's going places, and we kind of see what it takes to advance in that arena on Romulus, I guess.
I guess so. I feel like, is it worth it? Is it worth everything that you scheme and sacrifice and kill over? It's just, I've never quite understood why the Romulans keep choosing to live this way, frankly.
They just love their scheming.
I guess. Your schemes are barely plans.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, man. So that's interesting. I'm curious to see what we'll get out of him going forward, I guess. The final big revelation, though, there's a couple other things. So it turns out this base is actually a starship with a working warp core. And it looks like they're going to try and get it space-worthy again. And that's going to be interesting. But also, the very end, we should talk about the two officers, our main lead character who we've been following, along with Ensign Rod. They were climbing the outside of the tower and dealing with all of that. They get beamed away, saving their lives as well at the very end. But it turns out they're beamed aboard a nearby Klingon ship that's been monitoring what's been going on here. And also has designs on this stellar wind antenna that is obviously much more than that.
Mm-hmm. I'm really curious now as to what it actually is, but I'm sure we'll get there. So,
Well, according to this Klingon, he says, your stellar wind antenna has been secretly and unlawfully monitoring our military communications since the Federation installed it on this planet. So I wonder if that's accurate or what's going on there. It wouldn't surprise me. These Klingons. I do love this page here with the three Klingons towering over them and just snarling.
Yep. Doing what Klingons do best.
And then, they've been captured by the Klingons, and that's where we get our to be continued at the end. So
yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening at the same time, and it can be difficult to illustrate that in a comic, but I think it's done really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the strengths of this series, is that there is a lot of stuff going on, but you get it. You don't get confused by what's actually happening because it's there on the page. And that's the great work of the artists and also the writers, because they've made this chaos something that is more cohesive for us to understand.
Yeah.
And it's just, I really just can't say enough good things about this series.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, we've talked before about geography in comics can sometimes be really like, what's going on? Where are they? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And that is not the case with this. Like, everything is clearly laid out, even though, like you say, there's so many things going on. There's the jungle, there's the antenna, there's a sniper hiding and shooting up at them. There's the ship, and like all of this is going on, but I'm never confused reading this, which is testament to the work done here.
Agree.
Final thoughts and a rating for Star Trek Red Shirts number 3.
Thank you for really bringing the gore. I mean, there has been gore, but this is next level gore, and I am impressed.
Yeah. I didn't expect to see that much Bolian blood, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, agree. It's just a lot of gore, and I think that is necessary to really communicate how dire the situation is and how little they have working for them, because they haven't been given enough information. I will give this oh, so many choices. I will give this one irritated, bald Romulan captain.
Do you find yourself kind of feeling bad for this Romulan captain?
I
just
do.
His strings being pulled by the Tal Shiar?
I do. I really do.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. The artwork is fantastic. The no holds barred thing they're doing here is just so good. Like, it's gory, it's great. Even more so than I was ever expecting. So I'm going to give it one bag of grenades that take out the tower.
Nice.
One whole bag of grenades.
Yep.
Well, let's move on from there, from this deadly serious Star Trek Red Shirts, to the next comic that was released a week later, October 8th. We got Star Trek Lower Decks number 12. And this one was finishing off the 2-part time travel adventure. So it was written by Tim Sheridan with art by Philip Murphy. And the synopsis goes as follows. The Lower Deckers and Cetacean Ops officers Kimolu and Matt continue their mission to replenish Earth's population of humpback whales. The krill situation is getting out of control, and the songs they sing are just too good to let them die out. There's also the pesky situation where Ronald, the last whale, has to occasionally talk that uptight space probe, whenever it shows up, into sparing the Earth from doom and destruction. But Ronald's getting on in age and won't be around forever. So the crew needs to find him a love match, stat, or Earth might face its end. That synopsis, more just kind of a recap of last issue and where we find ourselves with this issue, which I'm kind of more used to that style of synopsis, but doesn't give as much away. Last month's issue, by the way, if I'd read the synopsis, it was really weird. It was like squeak, squawk, squawk, squeak, squawk, and then translated chunk underneath and then back, and I was like, I don't want to read that, so I'm not going to.
Fair enough. Don't blame me on that one at all.
So this issue, like in previous issues, we start out with a last time on Star Trek Lower Decks bit, and again randomly interspersed with scenes from other episodes. In this case, notably, the Enterprise episode A Night in Sickbay, where Hoshi, T'Pol, Archer, and Porthos are all gelling themselves up in the decon chamber. But then it ends with, for the and now the conclusion, we have Sela saying, humans have a way of showing up when you least expect them. From Redemption Part 1. So I enjoy it. It's probably the second best well-known one after Mr. Worf. Fire.
Yes, I laughed out loud. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I just started laughing. And I just laughed for a good couple of minutes at their little jokes there. It was just funny. It was funny.
I enjoyed the heck out of this one. I think I can say right off the top. I love that they're there like a year before Kirk and them show up to pick up George and Gracie. And usually it's Mariner that has all the like minute knowledge of a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But for whatever reason, she's just not really studied what they did in Star Trek 4. So they're like, oh, we got to find some whales. And the bus goes by with the thing that says on it, George and Gracie. And she's like, oh, hey, we'll just grab those. And Boimler's like, no. Nope. No.
Those are literally Kirk's whales.
No paradoxes today. We can't do that.
I still laugh every time I see Shax.
Yes. His little superhero band.
Basically, that's what it is.
Oh.
Just to cover that Bajoran nose. Yeah. Here's some fun things that I noticed. One of the ships that they're on to go and try find whales is called Cetacean OPS.
Mm-hmm. The
and then another one is called
and Preservation Society.
And then there's the Cetacean Obliteration and Profiteering Syndicate.
Yep.
The funny thing is, and I never really noticed this before, is that when you look at all of those together, it's an acronym for COPS.
Huh. Interesting.
All of them. COPS. Message there?
Possibly.
There is one thing that annoyed me, and this is going to sound so petty, okay? But there's that scene where they're talking about things, and Shax is looking at, I think it's Shax is looking at a poster, and it says, what does it mean, cut loose? And it's a Footloose poster. Here's the problem. Footloose came out in 1984 and was no longer in theaters in 1985. In fact, it had a second run during August and September of 1984, and then after that left theaters for good. Why is there still a Footloose poster up? Did someone not know that that was 1984 and not 1985? Or, because I just can't imagine that there would still be that poster floating around in a glass container like at a movie theater. Why?
Okay, here's my headcanony way around it. That is actually on the side of a theater that has been struggling financially and actually closed last year, and therefore has not they've not taken it down. So
okay, you know what? That works. But yeah, see, I knew that because I'm like, no, I know that movie came out in 1984, but I double checked online just to be sure, because I remember seeing it in the theater during its second run. We saw it the day before we had to go back to school.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah. So I remember it vividly. And
nice.
yeah, it's just one of those things that that annoyed me. And I know it's all me, and it's fine. But I decided to bring it up anyway, so there.
I love it. No, that's great. That's awesome. I would not have thought twice about that, but that's funny. I love that you caught that. That's so good. One thing I'm appreciative of in this issue, I have to say, are the little black sensor bars that are strategically placed a couple of times with Matt and Kamolu, our perpetually horny beluga whales.
Just what?
Oh, dear. Yep.
Constantly trying to mate with humans and others and other bipedal species.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about Ensign Sun Sanchez? Wearing the Frankie Says Relax shirt.
And then we wonder, oh, did he die? Because there's a bloody ripped shirt there that he was wearing. and I thought in my heart of hearts, I thought, nah, he'll show up at the end.
Mm-hmm. And they did get him back at the end, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They mention it in dialogue. They don't actually really show him.
Oh, that's great. So, yeah, they have to convince these humpback whales. Oh, well, first of all, we have this pirate crew where 4 of them just randomly look exactly like Boimler, Tendi, Rutherford, and Mariner as well.
I know. I laughed at that for a good minute.
Mm-hmm. I love Boimler especially. Boyle, and Thandy, Ruford, and Swabby.
Swabby.
I love that all their names are similar and then Swabby.
Just makes no sense, and that's why it's funny.
Oh, man. Okay, so back on the Cerritos, also, we have this Klingon ship show up. Basically continually firing on the Cerritos and making no dent in the shields. In fact, as Tendi says, they're practically they might actually be charging up the shields with what they're doing. I did find it weird that the Universal Translator couldn't translate ancient dialects of Klingon. It's like, how? It's not that ancient. It's only a couple hundred years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 300, I guess 400 years. That's getting there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Star Trek has made us have a different definition of ancient, I guess.
That's true. I actually had a friend who got really annoyed when the TNG episode of Fistful of Datas, when they said, we're in, this town, the ancient West. And my friend's like, that's not ancient. That's barely old.
Yeah. I absolutely hate that episode.
Oh, I know. So one part of this issue that I thought in particular you would really appreciate is that one of these whales that they're taking forward is Jillian, who... And they make oblique reference to, the new Lamar class ships and stuff. She's going to end up on the Voyager A in season 2 of Star Trek Prodigy. And we find out why she's named Jillian here, which I thought was funny. I thought they were going to they introduced her name and I thought they were going to end up saying it was just a weird coincidence, but she in fact met Jillian Taylor at one point.
Yep.
Who is still alive and well in this century right now. So Jillian actually went to the future technically before Jillian Taylor did, but arrived way later.
Yep. That's the thing about time travel, is that your starting point is also your ending point, and that's where you got to go back. And if you don't go back to that time, then you're going to mess some stuff up. I mean, you're already messing some stuff up, but you're going to mess it up worse if you don't get back to the time when you left.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I forgot to mention they totally blew up that Klingon ship too.
They totally did, and they didn't mean to. But
no.
It was like just a gentle phaser blast, and boom. And Ransom's log about the whole thing. I was howling with laughter.
Well, luckily they all survived apparently in the aft section of the ship somehow. So they didn't mess up time too badly, I hope.
Not too much. It could have been worse. They could have been all dead.
And then the final revelation, I guess, that Matt and Kamolu are members of Section 32.
Is that for mammals? Sentient mammals? Is that what that is for?
I guess so. Cetacean secret ops, I guess.
Oh man, they looked so sinister. I was starting to worry.
I did love they had the lighting so that they did the light across their eyes and everything else in darkness. Oh, that was great.
This episode made me laugh so hard. episode.
Yeah.
This issue made me laugh so hard.
The end of the issue, they do set a course for the lap system, which was what the initial mission was outlined in the first issue they were supposed to do, which is following up on that episode. And I couldn't help but think, like, maybe they'll get there in the next storyline. Maybe that will continue, but I couldn't help but think of, do you remember the Simpsons episode where Homer voices Poochie and in Itchy and Scratchy? And they're headed to the fireworks factory, and they introduce Poochie, and Milhouse is, when are they going to get to the fireworks factory? And at the very end of the episode, they just walk past the fireworks factory, and it's like a really boring episode. I was kind of watching or reading this thinking, when are they going to get to the lap system?
Are they going to show us that, or are they just going to talk about it in a log, or actually just never mention it again? You never know with these guys.
So I really enjoyed this one. I've been enjoying the course correcting maybe that this series has been doing. I thought this was a great two-parter. A couple, some really fun jokes in it and stuff. Oh yeah, there's the ensign right at the end. He's wrapped in a blanket on the bridge. So yeah, fun. I'm enjoying this. I'm going to give this one one sinister look from a Section 32 agent as he slowly circles his tank with mood lighting.
I love that. I will give this one pod of catty humpback whales.
I do like that all of their dialogue was translated for us, but they remind us that, the Starfleet crew standing around, other than Matt and Kamolu, have no idea what they're saying.
Yes, good times.
Well, we're going to take a quick break there, and when we come back, we'll jump into the final 2 issues that came out in October. As always, Positively Trek is brought to you by its Patreon supporters, including Joyce Mirren, Brandi Jacala, Christina DeClercq-Zalagi, John Guppy, Out of Memory, Patrick Carlin, and Ricky Long. If you'd like to support the podcast, visit patreon.com/positivelytrek. You can join at any level and enjoy early access to episodes, ad-free episodes, episode shoutouts, executive producer credits, and more. Again, that's patreon.com/positivelytrek. Thank you so much to those of you supporting us. We truly do appreciate it. And now, back to the show. So next up, we have Star Trek Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation #2 that came out on October 15th, written by Robbie Thompson with art by Travis Mercer. So the synopsis for this one is, now deep under the ice-crusted surface of the planet Poilant, in search of a missing team of Starfleet researchers, Una, Chapel, Lon, Spock, Scotty, and D6 discover a mysterious alien temple. It's covered in vines, and the tech on the crew's submersible is showing the researchers are inside. But before they can investigate further, a new enigma appears, and this one's got tentacles.
Tentacles.
Yay, tentacles. So this is continuing, of course, the story that started last time. We have our crew searching for these researchers below the ice of this world, all piling into this submersible and going underwater, where I think it's 2 other submersibles have both disappeared with everyone aboard. Seems like a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
But I love this cowardly robot they have with them as well, D6.
D6, he's the best. He's the best. Honestly, this is hard for me to say, but he's the best thing in this issue.
Agreed. So, yeah, this one, very plot heavy, not a lot of character stuff going on. It's just kind of, things are happening, right? They find this underwater thing with this barrier that they go through, gonna find what's all going on here. I remember last issue, I was kind of praising the way the characters were handled and how they spoke. This issue, I'm pulling that back a little bit. There's some stuff here that I can't remember the exact line, but there's something Spock says, and I was kind of surprised that it was Spock saying it and not someone else. Here it is. Okay. Whoever built this place, they built it to last. The structural integrity is incredible. That doesn't sound like Spock to me, because I saw that and I was thinking Lon, and then I looked at who the speech bubble was pointing to, and I'm like, oh no, that's Spock.
No, it's not. That's not something Spock would say, and it's not how he would say it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that took me right out of it.
There were a few little moments like that just really, kind of took me out of it, like you say, that it just didn't feel quite right, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does make sense.
So they do end up finding Chapel's colleague, Janaire, and she seems to have been taken over by these vines that are growing all around her, and they have the most threatening name in the universe. They are the Seeds.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to know how I really feel about this?
Yeah, I'm sensing that you might not be completely enthralled by this story.
I'm not, because so we've got Enterprise scanning, and they see this glyph sort of appear, and they're trying to figure out what it means. The minute I see it, I said, that's a warning. Mm-hmm. That right there is a warning. And I was not wrong. But the thing that annoyed me the most is we get down there, and it's the Seed, and they're taking over. Oh, this is a prison, and we're using you to escape. A Vesda much? I've already seen this episode, thank you.
Yeah.
I was not happy with this one at all. Except for D6.
Yeah.
D6 was great.
D6 is amusing. There's some fun stuff there.
This was my favorite thing he said. I am feeling new and alarming emotions. I wish to scream while also crying. Does anyone else wish to be held?
That was a good line. That was good.
Yes.
I appreciate D6.
Me too. Because he's the one thing that was not out of character in this particular issue.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just not grabbing me. Like, I don't know, this revelation of her colleague wrapped in all these things in this big page. It's supposed to be shocking, as illustrated by the shock lines coming off the faces of everybody. But it's just like, I don't know this person. I don't care. There's something just not really, it's not grabbing me with this at all. And then I also have another complaint, kind of similar. I feel more empowered to bring this complaint up after the Footloose debacle in the last issue. Okay, so Scotty's on the ship. So this takes place after Hegemony Part 1. But Uhura's got her short hair.
Yeah, that annoyed me.
So Hegemony Part 1 happens. Hegemony Part 2 happens. She's still got the short hair there, or so we're to believe by some very skilled hairstylists covering things up. But that episode ends with the Enterprise incredibly damaged, and she puts into space dock for 3 months, during which Uhura grows her hair out. When does this happen? Like, it doesn't fit anywhere. And I mean,
no.
The writers of the comic, obviously, when they put pen to paper, they probably hadn't seen any of season 3 yet and didn't, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't really blame them, but at the same time, it's just one more thing. Like, this sounds really mean, but if the story were really compelling and I were really into it, I would totally overlook that and probably not even notice. But it's just one more thing that's kind of pulling me out of it.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, how are we supposed to have this big revelation about a character we know nothing about except that it's Chapel's friend? And why should we care?
Yeah.
Why should we care? That's my biggest thing. Why should we care about this person that we have not seen very much, and what little we have seen has not given us any, what's the word I'm looking for here? Concrete impression of what kind of person she is, what she's like, what her life's been like. It's just nothing. She's just there to be there. And And it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And it made me so unhappy because I get to that point where they see the glyph and I'm like, oh no. I hope I'm wrong. I'm right. I didn't want to be right.
And yet,
it's too close to something they've already done.
Yeah. And for some reason, I'm just not feeling any danger, like as at the very end of this issue, right? Your ship is already lost and all these drones or ships or whatever are coming at the Enterprise. And I'm just like, there's something in the setup just didn't do it for me. And then I don't want to just keep piling on, but like the art style is I'm not digging it. And again, if the story were really compelling and really grabbing me, I'd be like, oh, I don't care. Like, that's fine. It's stylized. It's different. I get it, but it's just not for me.
It doesn't feel like our characters.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't evoke they don't look enough like their characters to really, you can't look at one of those pages and go, oh, yo, that's Christine Chapel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Vulcan. Oh, wait, it's actually supposed to be Spock. It just doesn't have enough detail that is indicative of the actual actors to make it seem like that's who these people are. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like them.
And if it was like last issue where there were a few moments where just the dialogue really felt genuine, like there was Ortegas had some quips and I was like, oh, this really feels like her and stuff. I'd be more forgiving of that. But yeah, the dialogue doesn't match the characters. The character models don't match the characters. So it's too many things.
Mm-hmm. Too many things that just takes you out of it and leaves you wanting something else.
Well, I mean, I'm still, of course, we're still going to continue reading the series. And I mean, there have been issues and stories before where there was an issue that was a miss and the story still ended up being really good and interesting. So I'm holding out hope, maybe we'll get some more out of this that I'll enjoy more. But this one was an unfortunate miss for me.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give this one one sinking submersible. Sorry.
No reason to say sorry. I'm gonna give this one glyph that says this is a warning. Get out while you can.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's move on to our final issue from October, released on October 22nd, Star Trek Voyager Homecoming number 2, written by Susan Bridges and Tilly Bridges, with art by Angel Hernandez. The synopsis is, moments before returning to Earth, the crew of Voyager are betrayed by insurgents hidden on board. With her ship's deflector dish broken and the ship itself out of her control, Janeway must convince the aliens that Starfleet means them no harm if she's ever going to get her found family home. If that weren't enough to handle, there's a ticking clock to contend with. Tuvok's disease has accelerated, and he must get home to mind meld with a family member to cure himself with Faltor Vo before it's too late. Dun dun dun, as they say.
Yeah. Fluidic space, so fun.
Yeah, Voyager's in fluidic space, surrounded by species 8472 ships. And first thing I have to say, I actually really am glad that the members of species 8472 even call out the fact that all they ever get called is species 8472. How dare you call us by the name that our would-be conquerors gave us? Like, how arrogant is that? Here. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, now let's give us your name then.
Yeah.
I'm going to complain about it. What's your name? What's your name? What do you call your species? Want to know? I want to know. It's something that's been burning for 30 years. What are you called? So, yeah, because calling them species 8472 is such a freaking mouthful every time.
It really is. But I also like, kind of tied to that, I like the criticisms they have of Janeway as well. Because, when she first met them, she really didn't know a lot about them and kind of immediately jumped in bed with the Borg to try and conquer them, right? To try and counter the threat that they posed. But, didn't use any first contact protocols. And even Janeway later in the issue says, you know what? That's true. I didn't. And that was wrong. I like that.
Yes, I do too. I think it's a reflection of just what we as humans often do, is that we decide this is what you're called, but we're not going to ask you what you call yourselves. This is something that has gone on throughout human history.
Oh, yes.
And so hanging a lantern on it, and in this way, I really appreciate it. I like that. I like that aspect of this story. And it reminds you, hey, this species didn't ask for this fight that Janeway started with them. They didn't ask for it, but now they're going to finish it because that's what they feel they have to do. And I can't help but think that there's got to be some common ground here somewhere. We just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're building towards in a better way than the episode that they reference a bit in. I think it's In the Flesh did with the interestingly, they're referred to as the traitors by the rest of 8472 for lack of a current better name, which is interesting. They destroy the deflectors, both the primary and the secondary, so they're trapped there. And the entire crew is moved off the ship by 8472. And Janeway is going to meet with the I can't remember the term, but let's just say the Grand Poobah of 8472.
Yes, the Grand Poobah. Did I write it down? So basically the mom, she's basically if the Borg were just not synthetic at all and just a hierarchy of flesh and whatnot, that would be this person. This would be the queen of 8472, basically.
Yeah.
From her comes all. If it's a her. I don't know if it's a her or not. Is it a her?
I think so. I mean, actually, there's a random episode of Voyager where the Doctor mentions that 8472 has, I forget how many genders, but it's not a binary. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I think amusingly, it might be the episode where Seven is trying to learn about the social graces and the Doctor starts giving a lecture on mating and anatomy and stuff. And mentions that like species 8472 has like 5 sexes or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
Someone out there
Good for you.
Yeah. Patrick, if you're listening, I'm sure you have the exact quote and correct number, but that's
he will let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the whole crew is taken off of Voyager, interestingly, except for Seven and Tuvok. Seven is left aboard because, as I think Janeway says, your bigotry is showing to 8472. So I'm sure that's going to come into play. She's going to, be instrumental in getting out of this here.
Of course.
But Tuvok, I want to talk about a bit because even though he spends most of the issue kind of incapacitated, I really like the dialogue they've written for him as he's having this mental break, but trying and fighting to kind of hold on to his logic as he kind of tries to reason things out in his mind. I could hear Tim Russ delivering those lines. It was really well done.
It was really well done. And I think, honestly, that the voices of all of the characters are being really accurately captured in this writing. And it's just made it flow seamlessly for me because I'm not thinking about what would you say. Here's a funny thing, though. I have to say this before I forget, okay? So there's this thing that Tom says that makes me laugh in a weird way. Okay. So there is this point where she says, "I've got you." And he says, "You've got me. Who's got you?" That's a line from Superman the movie. When Superman catches Lois the first time, and he says, "Easy, miss, I've got you." And she says, "You've got me. Who's got you?"
That's great. I didn't catch that, but as soon as you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's great.
I'm just like, oh, my heart.
That's wonderful. Speaking of B'Elanna and speaking of getting the characters' voices right, this is the perfect example of that. So B'Elanna has fairly recently given birth to Miral, right?
Yeah, like hours ago.
Hours ago, right. And so she is carrying the baby and goes to the doctor and says, "Doctor, I'm going to help retake engineering." And all the doctor says is, "Lieutenant." And you know that he's going to protest. And she immediately says, "I didn't spend 7 years custom tweaking the warp engine to within 0.01% variance just to lose it now." That is absolutely like pitch perfect for their characters. You know, just with one word, the doctor was going to start protesting. B'Elanna just launches into her and it was just, that is her, like absolutely her, and perfect. Just really good dialogue.
It is. It's just every single character in this issue has the voice that they should have, and it just makes everything. And actually, I felt like the first time I read it, it went by too quickly. I'm like, but no, because I just accepted everything. I just accepted all the dialogue, accepted the writing, because it was Voyager. It was Voyager to me. It was just as much an episode in my head as if it were just an actual episode. And kudos to both the artists, again, and the writers for hitting those voices absolutely perfectly. I have no complaints.
Yeah, absolutely. So the issue ends with Janeway ordering the data on opening a singularity back into their space. She orders it deleted. I'm presuming to prevent 8472 from using it to get into our realm. And of course, in the back of her mind, she knows they still have 7 of 9 in their back pocket who can do it without, like, she just knows how to do it, right? So, but even that, as like the quote unquote camera, as the panel pushes in on her face, right? Like you can hear like, "Delete it. Catherine, that's our only way back. And if we don't get Tuvok home, he'll never recover." And it's right on her face. "Delete it." Like, that's so Janeway.
Oh, yeah. I heard her voice in my head. I did.
Yeah. So I would say this is an example, going back to the last issue with Strange New Worlds, I would say this is an example of a first issue where I was a little bit, I don't know about this. I'm not sure where this series is going. I'm a little, This second issue, I think, is terrific. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, we had all the setup to get them into this situation, which felt a little bit quick and crazy. But with this one, I'm like, oh, I'm on board with where they're going with this. I'm really enjoying this.
I agree completely. The only thing that gave me pause, and this is just a personal preference, is like, did Seven have to bring up the romantic relationship with Chakotay again? I don't want to hear about it.
I know. I think I blocked it out.
I did too. I was like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to read about it. You could have just left that out. We didn't need that. Why did you do that?
I mean, I kind of get it because of where it is. They kind of almost have to, but like, yeah, when I got there, I was like, oh yeah, oh gross. I don't know.
Yes, no, that always made me feel icky. That relationship always made me feel icky. Did not like it. Never will like it. Just no.
Yeah, not a fan of that either, for sure. But
yeah, but again, it fits the time, so I'm
sadly
not going to say, yeah, I know. So I'm not going to say that it's out of character or anything like that, even though the actual whole relationship is out of character, but that's not the point. The point is this is keeping in step with what happened in the end of the series. So I can't fault that, even though I didn't want to see it.
Here, here. Absolutely. So, do you have any final thoughts on this issue? And, of course, a rating for Homecoming #2.
I really am impressed with how they ramped everything up in this episode. Again, I say episode in this issue, because the first issue was pretty much all set up. And I didn't actually mind that. But the funny thing is that when I'm just like, oh, they're home, they're gonna not get home, are they? Something's gonna, species 8472, all right. Okay, we're going there, huh? All right, I can come along for that. But this issue really just cemented what the rest of this feels like it's going to be like. Mm-hmm. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how Janeway manages the situation. Does she go the diplomacy route? Or is she going to keep in her back pocket this knowledge that she can leave when she wants because 7? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like Janeway, she wants to get her people home, but at the same time, I think she's atoning for her mistakes. So I guess we'll wait and see, but I am fully on board. I'm ready for the next issue. This really ramped up, and I'm very, very pleased with this issue.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to echo a lot of what you said. Yeah, I didn't dislike necessarily issue #1, but I was a little bit kind of wary. It was kind of, again, that plot and action over character a little bit, where it just like moved so fast and all of that stuff. But this one, it had a lot going on in it, a lot of action, but man, those characters just really shone through. And I think kind of for the first time in a long time, it made me want to go back and watch some Voyager, which Voyager is not my favorite Star Trek series, but it's still Star Trek, and I have some fond memories of it. And this was like just enough of it to kind of just give me a taste and remind me why I like that show and those characters. But then that was all undone when they mentioned Chakotay and Seven. So never mind. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to give it one Star Trek First Contact callback, which is destroying the plasma conduit that is the stuff's supposed to liquefy organic matter on contact, as Data said, but Species 8472 just shrugs it off. So nice callback. Good job.
Yeah, it was even green, just like it was perfectly done. I was very pleased with that. Nice callback.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will say that I really enjoyed this episode. I've already said that. I'm going to give this a big telepathic organic Borg.
I like it. I
was trying to find the right words there. That was hard.
So I'm going to ask, now that we've talked about all 4 of these issues, one thing I'm going to kind of introduce and do in these episodes is thinking about all 4 of these issues. Which one do you think is the standout for the month of October? What would you say is your favorite of the 4?
That is a tough choice for me. But if I had to say the one that engaged me the most, it's actually going to be Lower Decks.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, there were so many things in that just made me laugh out loud. But also, I had to read it twice because I'm like, okay, I laughed so much that I've lost my place. So let's finish it off. Let's go back. Let's reread it again. It made me want to reread it again. And I found new things while I was reading it the second time. And it's only slightly edging out Red Shirts, just slightly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it dealt with some things that were familiar and also turned it on its ear. And I appreciated that. And the laughing, I really needed the laughing.
I get that for sure. Absolutely.
So for me, that's the one that stands out the most.
Nice. I love that. I think that's wonderful. For me, it's close between those two as well. But for me, Red Shirts #3 just just edged it out slightly as far as just the visceral experience of reading it and like, wow, they really went there. And okay. That's my winner for this month. Red Shirt's number 3, but Lower Decks number 12 also very close up there as well. So, but yeah, Homecoming 2 is I mean, maybe in third place, but it's still, they're doing really good with it. Really, really good job with it. So, Seeds of Salvation needs to pick it up a bit. It's not grabbing me yet. So
yeah, and they also need to stop doing things that have already been done.
True.
Just too much like the Vesda guys. Seriously.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, next month though, they'll get their opportunity to try and win us back, because we've got 5 issues to talk about next month in November. We have Star Trek Red Shirts number 4, Star Trek Lower Decks number 13, Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation number 3, The Last Starship number 2. I'm really looking forward to getting back to that story again. And then Voyager Homecoming number 3. So picking up all 4 of these stories plus Last Starship as well. It's going to be a busy comic reading month.
It's an embarrassment of riches
It
where
is.
Star Trek comics are concerned.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So I hope everyone out there is also enjoying the heck out of it. I'm really enjoy the fact that we have listeners along with us on this journey. And I hope you'll continue to join us next month with these 5 issues. Thanks so much for listening this month. And until next time, as always, stay positive. Positively Trek is produced and edited by me, Dan Gunther, and co-produced by Barry DeFord on Treaty 8 territory, the home of the Beaver, Cree, Dene, and Métis people, whose histories, languages, and cultures we respect. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have lived in and cared for these lands for generations.